Hello, crafty friends. Welcome back to Spectrum Art. For those of you who are back, welcome back, right? For those of you who are new here, please take a minute and read down in the description box below if you'd like to know a little bit more about Madison and myself. But hello and welcome back again. My name is Maddie and I have the lovely Miss Madison over there who has been helping us with what we're going to be working today. So what are we working on today?
Giant matchbook.
Yes, we're working in an oversized giant matchbook. Now, we've already done one that was created for the fall, and we've just finished making a video, and well, not finished making, we finished making it public on the how to do the giant matchbook in case you want to give that a go. And that one breaks it down with using a full paper line, which we used the Magic of Oz from Graphic 45. We started another one the other day during our live, and if you've never joined us during our lives, that is a great time to come out and meet new friends, chat with folks and interact, as well as do some crafting along the way, ask questions. And we also like to play, sometimes we play games and trivia just to interact with you guys as well. So lives are a lot of fun. If you've never come to one, please make sure you do that. And you'll get notified if you hit the subscribe button and ring that bell, right? Okay. Anyway, we started working on another one during the live. And this time what we did is we used Stamperia rice paper. That was the inspiration for this one as opposed to a full 12 by 12 piece of paper or paper line. So all we had was one sheet of rice paper. If you're not familiar with rice paper, this is what it actually, you know what, let me open this one so that it doesn't kill you with the glare. But if you've never seen rice paper from Stamperia, it is gorgeous. It does come in two different sizes, an A3 and an A4. This is the smaller one, which is the A4. And it looks like this. This is also part of the Alice collection. I would have shown you a full sheet of this, but we're out. We have no more. We are ordering more, so they are on the way. And that's another thing that you can join us for. We do have live sales on our channel now, in which we share a lot of the materials that we actually craft with. So if you're interested in Stamperia, make sure again that you check us out. But this is what rice paper looks like. It is different than napkins in the sense that it is a lot sturdier. When you work with it, it doesn't stick to your fingers or tear as easily. So it's very manageable to work with. It's great if you don't like all that stickiness and all that stuff. But the good news is, look how lovely that is. It has a whole bunch of fibers in there. So when you tear it, as you can see here from the piece that I tore, we do a close-up. There you go. It creates this gorgeous, gorgeous ends and fibers that just add to your projects. Oh, there we go. We went out of focus. God bless you. God bless you again. And so this is a piece of what we have left. This was up here, and then I believe that was on the bottom. And so we tore it. We used the main image for the front here. And then we added a bunch of just mishmash of papers that we have, music paper, scrapbooking paper, some pages from a book, some additional. So it's just, we basically did what they did, which, and again, their job is lovely because they do all kinds of crackle and splatters and on their rice paper. But we try to kind of mimic and imitate that by creating some mixed media, using some random catalog pages. I love anything that's got interesting looks to it. More scrapbooking paper, and then use the other piece. So all of this was done with just one sheet, one of these, okay? They go a long way. This is the other half of that. And then again, we added our own papers. So I'm just kind of catching you up to date as to what we have done so that as we move forward, you understand what has happened, right? And if you want to catch up and play along, you can. But my hopes is just to give you another example of how to do the giant matchbook. For those of you who have ordered the matchbook kit from us, you'll realize that if you also got some rice paper from the same sale, you don't even need to use your 12 by 12s. If you don't want, you could even use your rice paper to do your matchbook kits, okay? So, oh, somebody's messaging me. Okay, so that's where we're up to now, right? We have the prongs inserted. We've already creased it, folded it, all that good stuff. Of course, your kit comes with all of that already done. So all you need to do is get to decorating. But that's where we're up to here. And what I'll do from here on out is basically speed through. I'm going to finish working on this cover. It isn't finished yet. We need to do some touches to it. We have some leftover paper, which I'm not sure yet what we're going to do. If we want to use it on the inside, I'm thinking yes, but I'll get with Madison and see what she thinks. And then I've got some really cool pages that I printed from an online kit. I'll try and find the information for this one because I couldn't find it anywhere. Unfortunately, the file was not named, and it's an old one that I had purchased. If I find it, I'll link it down below for you guys, okay? But hopefully I can. And then I printed 2 more of the covers, but I did that in cardstock because I'm thinking we could use rice paper, right, to do the inside as well. But I'm thinking we probably will use these for the inside. Plus, it just reinforces, you know, that the file folder. It makes it even thicker. So that's the game plan. Let's see what actually comes up. Won't you join us as we craft along? If you notice, I made sure that we worked on the outside all before we actually went on the inside because it got quite messy. And that's the case with mixed media typically. So now we can come in and actually not only strengthen our back covers and front covers, but we can also hide all that mess. The other thing I wanted to point out is that by adding paint and other elements, we were able to cohesively bring all of those elements together. The papers and all that now kind of blends as one piece. And the other thing is I made sure to use some of that golden color to actually bring it to tie in on the inside, as well as the teals and the reds and the blacks. So now we're going to work on the inside. Now technically, I would have preferred to have actually measured this and punched it at the same time as I had punched these. But being what it is, we just, work around it. And it just so happened that it worked out. Thanks to the fact that just about everything that we're doing is pretty even. And we lucked out in also being able to kind of match those hues that were on the original pad by combining 3 different oxides or 3 different colors, right? Because we have a wild honey, which is going to give us that orangey hue. This one doesn't really need it. It's pretty orange. And if you notice, we used all those scraps to be able to recreate the other stuff. Then we added a little bit of the brown, and that's the vintage photo, to tone down the orange and give it a more vintage look. And again, this one doesn't need it. It's pretty colorful. And then finally, of course, we use the black. And this will complete the inside. The other nice thing is because we've used a file folder and rice paper and scrapbooking paper and washi and paint and acrylic paints, all kinds of other techniques such as distressing, and so we just basically kept adding layers and layers, and now we're adding the cardstock, so it has really made both covers very strong and very thick. I mean, it's like it's, I wouldn't say chipboard, but it's thick. So now we are going to put this all together. Okay, quick point out. Once I actually put the paper, I didn't like the way that holes were aligned, so I thought of creating maybe my own reinforcer, but that wasn't big enough and I didn't like the way it looked. So then I got some regular reinforcers. I still didn't like the way that necessarily looked. I mean, it's not bad, it's not pretty. So then I took another piece of the strip that we had left, and I created this other reinforcer, which I like a lot better personally, because I feel that it also lends it some stability here in the back to keep that prong in. So again, we don't always have to get frustrated, because it's easy to get frustrated when you're crafting, right? And things just don't turn out the way that you had foreseen or wanted or planned. Instead, we use it as an opportunity to not throw away our stuff, to not scratch, but rather to grow as artists. So it's those challenges, right, that help us to think outside the box. And in doing so, we actually created a stronger surface now or backdrop for our prong there. So wanted to point that out, because I know sometimes when we watch videos, it seems like everything just comes out so easy for other people who are creating, and they make it seem like, oh, no worries. But it happens to everyone. It happens to all of us. And it's happened to me even now after I've made quite a few of these. So it can happen. And it does happen. It's just behind the cameras, right? And that's why sometimes I do like the live crafting, because you get to see the oopsies, you get to see the outtakes, you get to learn from those mistakes from others, and what to avoid and to look for, and also how to think outside the box. So there you go. Okay, we've actually covered up our little boo-boo. And just to point out, this was not going to be a big deal anyway in the long run, because remember, our paper is going to go on here and it's going to completely cover everything but these 2 tips, right? So we would have never seen that. The other thing I wanted to point out is Madison and I got to talking, and we made the hole for the brad. And after we had made the hole for the brad, we thought, oh, you know what, if we put ribbon, we're basically going to put ribbon coming right across down Alice, and we did not want to do that. So a while back, Madison had made these great clips. They're just your typical clips, but she painted them with what was the Tim Holtz paints, right, Madison? And alcohol inks, yes, both. And so we thought, oh, that would be so cool. And look, any of these would actually match, right? We thought about putting these one down here. that gave us the idea of, you know what, who is to say that a matchbook couldn't possibly have an image facing this way? It could. And of course, we had talked before about doing one facing this way, which again, that might be something that we do next, having it more like an album that flips this way. And in this case, I like that kind of clip, and maybe with some dangles this way. I don't necessarily like it like this with this type of clip. Again, not a big deal, just a preference. Because if I'm going to put this inside of a bag or inside of a purse, I don't want this to be the thing that sits on the bottom. So then we thought, you know, these are super cool and they make great closures, and they could be left black, but I think we might experiment with the same thing with some inks and see if we can maybe jazz it up a little bit. So that's yet another thing I wanted to point out, that you do not have to use the ribbon closure. Get creative. You know, the first one I made, from that original fall paper line, had a magnet, and we could still do a magnet if we wanted to on here, but I actually like trying different things. These are now 3 different closures that we've done. We could do one with a clip, we've done one with a magnet, and we've done that one with the ribbon. So see, just use whatever you have in your stash. But I'm going to continue finishing this up. And now we are done inserting our pages. So Madison decided what?
Leave the clip black.
Yeah, she's like, I like it in black. It matches the borders and stuff, Mom. So black it is. And see, now we have the inside where we've covered all the flaps. It's super thick and sturdy. And it's
not going anywhere.
It's definitely not going anywhere. I love how the back reinforcer worked out. Now that I know that, in retrospect or for the future, I think I'm going to add some kind of a cool band back there, maybe some washi or something. I think that would look great, maybe in even a different color. And we've hole punched all of our pages, and they're now in here. And there are quite a few of them, and they're so pretty. Again, I'll try and find that name and link it below. I'm not going to go through all of them, but you guys see that it is just a great book full of all kinds of journaling pages. And of course, we still have the reverse. Plus, we can always change these out because that allows us to always add or change pages or move them around. And then what were you telling me, Madison? What else did you wanted to do?
I'm telling you the corner.
Yeah, she's like, I think it needs something here. So we're going to play around with it some more, see what we can come up with that corner. Oh. And then as I was cleaning the table, because I started to clean, see the cute little brads I had found for when we thought we were going to do the brads? See, they're hearts. I figure they go with the Queen of Hearts, right? But we X that idea. But I was cleaning the table.
This is a pretty one.
Yeah, right? And then I realized, hey, we still have some pieces left. So I am going to go back and I'm going to add that up there. How cool is that? See, I love this rice paper. Look at it. I don't have to do anything to that other than just glue it down on there. Actually, let me do that while you guys are here, because I want to show you, I did not get a chance to show you how easy it is to work with the rice paper. This is just regular glue. Doesn't take anything fancy. And again, the great thing about the rice paper is that it actually is so strong. It has all those great fibers, so you do not need to worry about it tearing or bubbling or sticking to your hands or anything of a sort. It's completely, see, you can put it down, I can lift it back up, I can just keep doing that because it's not going to tear as a napkin does. Madison, could you stop slamming the doors, please? Thank you. Not right this second. See? And I can actually put my fingers and I can rub and I can do whatever I want and it's not going to tear or go anywhere. And then let's add some more glue. Oh, and I can lift it back up, see? Without tearing it if I want to. It's just very easy to work with. So if you ever fret about, working with napkins and that I might ruin your project if you don't get it right the first time, rice paper is going to be a great option for you. So there you go. Look at that. Just like that, right? Well, now we're going to let it dry. And look how I'm rubbing it with my nail and my fingers. Love that. Okay. And then we could do that one here. That looks kind of nice. Or we could also come down here and put it here. That might be a very cool place to have it, but it doesn't really show unless we remove all the papers, which we probably never will. So I think I'm going to lean for here. What do you guys think? What do you think, Madison? Should we put it here at the top so we can always look at it, or should we put it under there, which we really can't see it?
Here.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Okay. All right, so we'll do that, and then we'll see what else we do with that corner that Madison wants to play with, and we'll come back and show you some still photos. How does that sound? But once again, we want to thank you for hanging out with us, for crafting along, hopefully. We appreciate your comments. We appreciate your feedback. So if you want to do that, we would love to hear. You know what? I don't necessarily want that there. So, I mean, not that it's a bad thing, but I think I like it without. And I want to tear some of this out. Do give us some feedback. Do leave us even a hello. It'd be great just to see where you're from, to hear from you as well. And again, if you are interested or have any questions about any of these products, do let us know. And be sure to check out that other video, the one with the full tutorial, if you do want to make one of these. See how easy it tears? I'm just tearing it away. I think I like it all shredded. I like that much better. I like things that are not uniform, in case you guys haven't figured it out yet. I like wonkiness. It just gives it more of that homemade feel and look. And once again, I'm going to lift that away and add some more glue because I can. And we'll come back with some still photos. In the meantime, you guys have a blessed weekend, and we will hope to see you guys back here real soon. Yes? Have a blessed one.
Bye.
Bye.